6:39 and got a late start to the day, but we're packing up. It rained a lot last night. It's cold as crap. But we're getting rolling. We survived our first night in Mount Rainier. It's definitely quite cold. I think the low was probably like 35 last night where our campsite was. And it was raining a lot of the time. So made for a brutal morning. Thankfully Macy had brought her shoes in the tent because they were slip-ons and wouldn't hang on the ladder. Because of the rain, my shoes hanging were soaking wet. So that was kind of clutch. Might just start bringing our shoes in or something from now on. But now we're headed to the visitor center. As we were packing up the tent, a ranger drove by, and there were quite a few cars at that campsite without a permit. So kind of thinking he's just making sure everything's okay, but we left and he never said anything. So that's kind of nice. We'll have to find a new place to sleep tonight or come up with a new idea, but it worked for last night, and now we're getting on with our day. So we've procrastinated this quite a bit, but it is time to fix Macy's boots. So we have some Gorilla Glue, and we're just gonna put it in there and hopefully seal this shut. All right, so we glued them back together, but they don't like totally stick yet, so we're using some Gorilla tape to hold it while it dries, and hopefully that does the trick.
Walking up to the visitor center, and man, it is really snowing out here. All I'm saying is Riker and I are very
Everybody has snowshoes and backpacks and crap. We look homeless with sandals on. All right, so it's 9:46 and we can't wait any longer. Turns out the visitor center doesn't even open till 10, which is later than several things that we've read. So now we're going to cook and make some coffee. We are hiding under the trunk because there are straight up like snow flurries and it's really cold and super snowy. So I want to make some oatmeal and coffee, just a basic easy breakfast, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna get this party started. Rocket water's gonna be boiling. Macy's got coffee in the Stanley, so once this is made, we'll put it in the oatmeal and put it in the Stanley and get some coffee and oatmeal. All right, here we are. Rocking this setup out here in the snow. So far, so good. Smells nice. It's about 10:45 a.m. We just enjoyed some oatmeal and coffee and watched some Yellowstone in the car. It's still cold as heck, still raining, and
there has not been a break.
There's not been a
rainy,
break.
Snowy.
And there's nothing in the forecast, which is what makes it tough. But we do know that over the next few days, the weather gets better. So I think we just caught like a little cold front. So we're one day ahead right now on our whole itinerary. We might end up being here for 4 days and just kind of scratch today. Or if we're able to do a little bit today, maybe we can do enough the next 2 days and stay just a day ahead of schedule to have some flexibility. But it's time to go into the visitor center now. I'm assuming it's open now because it said 10, it's 10:45. So we're gonna go in there, see if there's anything that we can do today or the next couple of days, and then just kind of consider our options, and hopefully we can see Mount Rainier at some point, because right now you literally can't see outside the parking lot.
Okay, this visitor center is awesome. They've got couches. Feels like you're in a lodge in here. Whole second floor. Well, here we go. We got a sticker and a mug.
It's like a bunch of stamps, which is different and kind of cool. Macy found a really good view of Mount Rainier.
So,
did you line it up?
yeah.
So that's how it looks outside, which is crazy because when you zoom in, there it is. Holy crap, that's pretty. The sad part is, I was doing that a second ago, and I freaked out like it was really beautiful. This older couple walked up and looked through the binocular set next to us, and they clearly didn't see what I was seeing, so that sucks. So we just learned that Mount Rainier is actually a volcano, which is crazy. And that's actually what formed it, was different eruptions of lava. We had a super successful few hours in the visitor center. We ended up getting a couch and charging up the phones a little bit, and I was just cranking out some work while Macy worked on some vlogs and things like that. Now we're back in the car. It's about 2:40 p.m. So there's a little bit of work left to do, but we're just now getting to lunch. Macy has made some peanut butter and jelly roll-ups, or peanut butter and jelly turkey wraps, whatever you want to call it. We also have some beef jerky in case that doesn't fill us up. And we're gonna watch some Yellowstone while we eat. After this, we'll finish up work and then hopefully crank out a few smaller hikes and see some water, because the visibility for that should be possible. So the ranger recommended doing Silver Falls today. You can still see the falls. It's like 3 miles with only about 300 feet of climbing. But we have to drive about 45 minutes to it. But it is on the same route that she said would be really pretty to drive and just look out. It's kind of similar to a drive that's at Glacier, and then it also has a view that's similar to the Tetons, like looking out over the Tetons. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see that today, just because it's really foggy. Yeah, like you really can't see anything at all. But we'll go knock out the hike and check out the road. So here's a view of Reflection Lake. It's iced over mostly. It is thin ice though, but I'm assuming that Mount Rainier is supposed to be right here, because in some photos there's a reflection of Mount Rainier on this lake. Unfortunately, we won't get to see the reflection, but we get to see the lake, and
cool.
It's pretty cool. We made it to the parking lot. Macy is rocking her boots with the Gorilla Tape on, just to be extra certain that they're nice and sealed up.
Just want to look like a professional hiker out here.
Exactly. We're both rocking sweatpants with joggers with boots, which is silly in general. But we only have like a 2.7 3-mile trail, so we'll survive. Hopefully it's got some decent views and isn't too soaking wet. It is 4:40 p.m. and we're starting Silver Falls Trail. And kicking it off, assuming we're on the right trail, is a rushing river. Look at this. This is like just feet from the trailhead, assuming this is actually the trailhead. Super pretty. Okay, just kidding. The map on the phone, I guess, wasn't updated or something, because that just goes down to the river and there's nowhere to hike. So it's probably just a river lookout. All right, we have found the trailhead now. Silver Falls is this way. Turns out the road just turns into the trail. And you don't have to walk down to the river right off the bat after all. Don't mind us and our duct tape boots. So right here, this is some natural hot springs water. I don't know if you can tell, but there's some smoke coming off of it. And there's a sign saying, please don't walk off trail to go find it. We walked up to some of these hot springs. There's a trail, and there's no like pools. There are some bigger puddles, and you can feel the warmth from the water. It feels nice. It smells so good out here. Macy, tell me what it smells like.
It smells like Christmas. It also kind of smells like my Fraser fir candle. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it smells good. We have just arrived to Laughing Water Creek. There's a big bridge here. You can just hear the rushing water. It's beautiful. This water is rushing. So pretty. Water is not only flowing, but it is super colored. It's so pretty. The mossy rocks around it are just gorgeous. We're now at Silver Falls Overlook. This water is so strong. It's insane. We just finished up the Silver Falls Loop. It was about an hour and a half, which is exactly what the map said and what the ranger said. But just a really good hike for opening up the legs. They're perfect for a gloomy day. We actually loved the colors and the feel of it being
added to it.
Yeah,
being gloomy.
It added a lot to it, and the colors just seemed to pop more with it being just wet and kind of rainy and gloomy and almost nasty weather. So definitely recommend it if you're in Mount Rainier area. We aren't totally positive, but we're pretty certain that that's the castle up there, because it looks castle-like, but it's very foggy and we don't actually know what we're looking at, to be honest. But it's cool. So the campsite that we stayed at last night is right over there. We're thinking we'll stay there again tonight, but we're at just like this little rest picnic area. There's a bathroom here and a bathroom over there, which is really nice. There's running water, so we're all filled up. But now we just have a little setup. We were gonna hook up the tarp, but we'd have to like hand tie it and do all that work. And right now it's just a really, really light mist. So we're gonna send it, but tonight we're cooking the Tex-Mex meal again, which will make 4 meals total. It's just nice that we have a trash can and stuff and can cook a full meal and kind of wait until the sun goes down before we head over to the campground. We also decided against the 2 other falls hikes for tonight because they take about 2 hours. And it's already past 7 p.m. and we don't want to flirt too much with the sun, and it's just cold and wet. So we'll save those for probably tomorrow after work. All right, so we're gonna get started by cutting up some veggies. First is the bell pepper. We're gonna start by cutting up the amount of pepper that we need for tonight's meals, which is just half of one. Now it's time for some onion. We're doing half of a white onion. Just go dice it up. Alright, so the veggies are in here. We're about to start getting the rice going. So we'll power these on. Alright, there they are, both flames going. Cooking with gas. And unfortunately, it is starting to sprinkle again. So we're gonna have to put up with the rain for a little bit. Water is boiled, so now it's time to add the rice. We'll mix that in. We'll let that rest. Corn's in, black beans, and last we have chili beans. All that's in, and now it's time for 2 cans of canned chicken. Second can. All right, so that is a full plate of food for me, full plate for Macy, and then 2 big old bowls for tomorrow or some other time. It's about 8:30 p.m. and we wrapped up dinner. We just switched into our tebas or camp shoes, if you will. And now we're going to get ready for bed at the restroom here and then probably head on over to campsite and see if we can't find a place to crash for the night. So we found a campsite and camp's all set up. We're nice and warm and cozy and we're headed to bed. Good night.
Good night.